Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, colleagues which are attending to this session. The paper has been prepared by three of us. The DA is just sitting in the second row. Manfred was not able to get here. We are just presenting this paper to this distinguished audience in order to share some visions, to open a debate, and to see if it's possible to share the journey that we want to start trying to put together to interface, inspire, and spatial planning. Of course, did you see that in the title an "in" was appearing? This is because challenges can be interpreted as substantive, so as a substantive, as a challenges, or as a verb, challenge. This question is not a very trivial question. What relationship are between INSPIRE and city and regional planning? I was very happy and interested by the previous speaker who was addressing the situation not only in Poland, but also giving an overview of how spatial planning is getting profit from INSPIRE. Just to mention that the European Commission was funding projects, just a few of them, and I will come back to this issue later on, related to how to maximize the INSPIRE results within the spatial planning. Plan for All is one of these projects, is ended with this book which is downloadable from internet, but I have a copy if you like. And just in order to demonstrate to the EC Commission that the interest in spatial planning is increasing day after day. This was one of the first reflections which was driving us in order to put our resources for doing this presentation and starting with actions, which I will tell you in a while. Something that has to be, this is very good news, because Eurogi was conducting a survey and an action about subnational SDIs in Europe since 2009. And here there is Franco Vico, who was the leader of this investigation. And we discovered that spatial planning is in the top of the subnational SDIs as a team. So it seems that SDIs are very, very functional, are very, very useful for spatial planning all over Europe. Subnational, so at regional level. But this does not mean that INSPIRE, spatial data infrastructures, and the spatial planning, they are very, very, very similar. They have a lot of differences. Just to mention that INSPIRE is ICT-centered and spatial planning is not. Spatial planning generates, and this is maybe the most important issue, some tangible economic benefits or at least modifications. Some people are getting money. Some people are maybe becoming poor because their land has not a value, expected value. INSPIRE is discussing spatial planning is just provoking concrete modifications. Last but not least, which is a very important issue, spatial planning in this century is looking for innovative theories and new ideas challenged by economic and social contingency. We do not have, we cannot use the old ideas of planning nowadays. So this is just a provocative slide. We don't want to answer to this very, very old and ancient question, but just to highlight that there is a common vision of planning, spatial planning and INSPIRE in supporting the management of cities, regions, of public, of citizens who are at the end of the day the users of INSPIRE and of planning indeed. There is one point. Planning, spatial planning is probably the most complex, the most challenging, the most complex activity for the human being. It's a lot, we have seen a lot of systems since the 60s, you know, just trying to make transportation models, behavior models, city models on computers, on big computers and so on. But they did not succeed. They did not succeed because there is a very crucial point that the challenge is the definition of the goal. And as many as we have different goals. This is a picture that we have used in this project, the Plan for All, when we were started to work on land cover and the land use data specifications. And this is just showing how complex are the tools, the cartographies that we use for planning. If they are so complex, if they are so diverse one from the other one, you can imagine how difficult it can be to manage the situation of planning. I mean, and also the development of a spatial planning. Historically, we have to learn, and we know that the perception of geographic information system was absolutely not intelligent from the side of planners. They did not approach geographic information systems in the way which could be really useful for the planning. No doubt about this. A lot of cartography, a lot of thematic maps, a lot of final drawings, but really no part, with the exclusion of some excellence, some very good examples, but that is another story. But generally speaking, the GIS was a CAD system, was a computer-aided drafting system. Now the question is, the story will be repeated for SDIs? We hope no. And we think that the story can be changed, you know. It can be changed because we are in the arena, we are in the dominion of e-government. And as the previous speaker, Lisa, was also addressing, I appreciated very much her presentation, e-government is taking care of geographic information in a different way. So we are more moving to something which is e-government with geographic information, so it's geo-government more than e-government only. This is the circle that plan, our Polish colleague was mentioning, you know, the circle of planning. I think that more than a Tao is a koan. so if I understand the meaning of the Tao, you know, this is a koan. This is something that we have to reflect on. And but together with that, with the circle, which is very famous, I mean, this since several let's say maybe one century, we are discussing about this continuous planning and so on. There are some issues at global level. For instance, the issues of formal and informal dichotomy, as UN was addressing, the formal and informal, how formally or informally people have the fruition of planning and of master plans, of the plans, of the directions of the plan. Let's think that geo-government can be a good opportunity for managing this interoperability between INSPIRE and spatial planning. Of course, the approach of a public administration must change. Of course, the services should be really good and effective services offered to the citizens. But of course, this is our idea. This is why our impression. This is the only way for the future. So just going straight to the end, outlining the relationship. This is only an illusion, no spatial planning recipe. I think that more or less we all agree on this. And I don't know why it's not appearing. Okay, sorry. This is the circle, and this is the cloud that we want to call your attention on, the cloud of decision phase connected with information and data. Information and data can be provided by INSPIRE, can be provided in a very interoperable way. So we have another cloud which already is there, because INSPIRE teams are there, SDI architecture is there, legal framework, usability, as far as we will be able to ensure it for future usage. So concluding, just going, it is not a foolish idea to think about to harmonize the planning process through some tools and opportunities offered by INSPIRE. Because data and information can be considered as key inputs for the planning process. They are not now not considered. If they will be considered, I mean, we will do a very big step forward. What are the conclusions, but mainly which are our plans for the near future and the middle and the middle future? We would like really to start in writing a manifesto for planners in order to use SDIs. And we want to share this manifesto in some international and European environment, such as the UN Habitat, which will take place in Naples, in the Mediterranean area, just in September, at UN GGIM, which was mentioned this morning by Borrero, by Santiago Borrero, and not least last but not least, of course, very important indeed, for the location framework for this initiative which Paul Smith was mentioning this morning in the panel. Of course, we need to work on projects. We want to involve communities, and maybe the last point is the most ambitious one. Before or after, maybe after, but we are not worried about that. We can place the pillars, the basis for some new theory in the future. Is not what we want to have this as a final task, but maybe it will happen. This presentation has been made possible because three of us get together, myself, Manfred Schrenk from ISOCARP, but also he's the director of a research center in Austria, the St. Alanova, and by Didier Vakunsen, which is here, is a planner placed in Germany and also one of the council of ISOCARP. Myself, I'm Bruce introduced myself already, but this has been very much supported by the University of Rome and Eurogi, because Eurogi and ISOCARP, they have a memorandum of understanding. Thank you very much for the attention.